I know this video is called How I Overcame My Anxiety, but I am recording this on a particularly anxious day. And that's okay because this whole thing is a journey. It's not something that's gonna be solved overnight. It's been something that I've been dealing with my whole life. And a lot of people may relate to that and a lot of people may not, because in this whole climate that we're in right now this year, it's been absolute insanity, and some people might be experiencing feelings of anxiety and depression and loneliness for the first time in their life, and it might be such a terrifying feeling. So this video is for everybody. Anybody that has those feelings of fear and dread and anxiety. These are just kind of the tips and tricks that I do to help myself feel better. I think it took me a while to actually start taking the steps to realize what I can do to help make myself feel better. I think for a majority of my life, I just chalked it up to this is my life, this is me, and this is just how it's gonna go for me. And then I just reached a point where it was like, no, there are things I could do to help me feel better day to day, and they might not be permanent fixes and they might not always work, but if they bring me some peace, at least a little bit in my life, then that's great. But let's get into why you came here, and I really hope these tips and tricks help you guys out, because I know that they help me out quite a bit. And if you're dealing with anxiety for the first time, or you're somebody that has been dealing with anxiety for years and years, and you are just kind of looking for new ways to alleviate that stress, I hope this brings you peace. So let's get into it. The first thing is a grounding exercise. So when you're feeling anxious, your mind is all over the place. So if you can kind of tap into your 5 different senses and ground yourself so that you can be present, it'll help you think much clearly. So I have the list right here for the grounding exercise, and we could do it right now if you want. I'll give you guys a few seconds so you could do it. So I want you to pick out 5 things that you can see in the room around you. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be the clothing on your back. It could be something around you. Just pick out 5 different things where you're sitting right now. Now that you've picked out 5 things, I want you to pick out 4 different things that you can touch. So for me, my hair, my shirt, this mug that I'm holding, and the piece of paper in front of me. Now I want you to point out 3 things that you can hear. You can hear the sound of my voice. You can hear the music in the background of this video. You can hear maybe there's something going on outside or somebody talking outside of the room that you're in. Just pick out 3 different things that you can hear. Next is 2 things that you can smell. So for me, I have my tea here. I have a ginger tea that I can smell, but there's nothing else because I don't have a candle burning or anything. So I'm gonna acknowledge the absence of scent in the room. And lastly, 1 thing that you can taste. Again, if you haven't eaten anything or you're not eating anything and you can't taste anything, recognize the absence of taste as long as you're bringing your attention to that sense. So anytime you're feeling anxious, do that grounding exercise. It's really gonna help you kind of tap into all your senses, realize I'm present, I am here right now, I'm okay, I'm in no immediate threat. And there's other grounding exercises that you can look up. There's one that I do go speak to somebody about my anxiety, and she taught me about this exercise that you can actually look up on YouTube. It's called Leaves on a Stream, and it's like a guided meditation. And you just kind of envision yourself sitting next to a stream, listening to the water, listening to the sounds of nature around you. And as you're sitting on that stream, you're seeing leaves just kind of floating around along the stream. They're just, everything's relaxed, everything's okay. And as you're sitting there, you put each thought that pops into your head or each worry that you have on a leaf and just watch it float away. The next one, and I know a lot of people don't like to hear this one because it sounds very like redundant and one of those things that you're like, I know I should be doing that, but I don't want to do that right now. And that's exercise. I decided that I was going to get in shape amid this pandemic. It's something I've always really wanted to do, where I can just focus on my health for a while, and I thought no time is better than the present. Instead of sitting here and just kind of freaking out about everything, I'm gonna put all that energy into something productive. So I downloaded an app called Kickoff, and this is not sponsored at all. I was paired with a personal trainer. She lives somewhere in the States and we text all the time. She sends me customized meal plans and workout plans, and I'm really focusing all my energy into that. And it's been about 12 weeks now, going on 13, which is crazy. And I feel like I'm mentally and physically in a really good place, a much better place than I have been in a long time. And again, I still have my bad days. That's not gonna go away. That's part of being a human being, is we have bad days, but I feel like now that I'm exercising, I'm better equipped mentally to handle those bad days. I think exercise, even, it doesn't have to be vigorous exercise. It could be a 20-minute walk every day, or yoga. Anything where you're kind of just really like tuning into your body, I feel like is beneficial. So again, if you're not somebody, if exercise isn't for you, that's okay. It's not for everybody. But just light exercise, yoga and walking and just being a little bit active can help so much. And I feel like we've all had that situation before where we're just at home all day and we're just freaking out and we're in our heads and we're in such a bad mood, and then you decide to go for a walk or something, and then after you get back from the walk, you're like, I feel so much better. The next is diet and hydration, and I didn't put diet within the exercise category because I wanted to talk about this separately. So in terms of diet, for me, with my anxiety, I tend to not eat. I get really bad stomach aches when I get anxious, and I just kind of shut food out of my life when I'm in a really anxious place. And then that just makes things worse, because then I get hungry and I get faint and my stomach hurts even more, but my mind is processing that as more anxiety. So I'm still suppressing that appetite, even though my body is saying that it needs fuel, it needs food. I'm depriving it of that, and it's making my anxiety worse. Just being very conscious and mindful eating, and being mindful of what you're putting in your body and the nutrients, and just being good to your body from the inside out makes a huge difference. And hydration is part of that too. You will not believe how many times I've just been genuinely like thirsty, like I haven't had enough water throughout the day, and my mind processes that as some kind of anxiety. My mind processes anything that happens within my body as an anxious thought, whether it's a stomach ache, hunger, thirst, whatever it may be. If my body is lacking something, it doesn't trigger the part of my brain that's like, oh, I probably just need a glass of water. Oh, I probably just need a snack. It triggers the part of my brain to immediately start panicking, because I start thinking, I don't know what's going on with my body. The last point I wanna make is to constantly check in with yourself and allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. The thoughts that are going through your head are valid. When those thoughts are going through my head, I allow myself to acknowledge them, and I allow myself to kind of see where they're coming from, why I'm feeling that way, and then just kind of let them go. And kind of the whole theory behind Eckhart Tolle's studies. Eckhart Tolle is this amazing human being who has come from the darkest depths of his mind and has come out of that and is now trying to help people kind of understand the thoughts that go through their head, why they're feeling that way. And his whole thing is to allow yourself to acknowledge the thoughts that go through your head and then let them go. So allow yourself to kind of check in with yourself, meditate a bit. And I know meditation can be so hard for so many people because shutting your mind off is not that easy and it takes a lot of practice. But guided meditations are amazing. And I love looking up guided meditations on YouTube all the time because they just, like the nights that I do a sleep guided meditation, I have the best sleep of my life. If you guys have any other tips and tricks about anxiety or things that you do, I would love to hear about them, because I'm always looking for different ways to ease my anxiety and help you guys figure out different ways to ease yours. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down below in the comments. Leave me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I upload every single week, so until next week, I'll see you guys later.